Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're here to present to you about SADS case study about why we choose this particular Unix flavor and Linux flavor. I will be presenting about the pros. Willie will be presenting about the cons of that Unix flavor that we have chosen. Abdullah will be talking about the pros and cons of the Linux flavor, and Henry will be presenting about how to solve the cons. Next. So, we chose Red Hat. We compared Red Hat versus Debian, and here are the pros for the Red Hat. So, Red Hat has a larger user base compared to Debian, so more users use Red Hat. So, there's more fixes and updates and general hot fixes for Red Hat. If something were to happen to the OS, well, there will be the company itself, the small group of professionals who are busy maintaining this. So it will be their problem and not yours. So as a user, you don't have to worry too much about it. There's also major updates every 6 months. They have undergone scrutinous testing by professionals, which is the small group of the small company. The distributions are also rock stable because of the professionals testing it before releasing every single update and distribution. It's also easier to install than Debian, as it does not need a WEPT, which is very hard to install it with. So I'll now pass on to Willie, who will explain to you about the cons of Red Hat.
Okay, so the cons of Red Hat are that there's a subscription fee for Red Hat compared to Debian, which is completely free. And another thing is that Red Hat has to reinstall all files every update. So you have to reinstall every file every 6 months. And the number of packages in Red Hat is significantly less than Debian, as shown here. And Red Hat has a 6-month bug fix cycle, which means that every single bug in a 6-month period will not be fixed until the update, compared to Debian, which has daily updates and bug fixes daily. And the last con is that Red Hat's package manager Yap cannot solve dependencies, while Debian's package manager can. Now I'll pass it on to Henry to tell you how we are going to solve the cons.
First con of Red Hat is that you need to pay for it. But the paying part is actually paying for the update. So if you find the new features in the new update is useful, then you can choose to pay for it. But if you don't see an important need to update it, then you can keep to the current version of your Red Hat. So, and for needs is that whenever a new update comes, right, you want to utilize the update, then you have to reinstall everything. So you can actually just reinstall everything. Then for the third point is that for Red Hat, right, there's only 3,000 packages in the repository, while as compared to Debian, which have 38,000. As such, you can actually just go to a third-party site to install the repository format. Then the fourth point is that because for Red Hat, right, the update is every 6 months. So however major or minor the bug is, right, you have to wait until the update comes. As such, I can suggest that you can manually do the bug fixing. And for the last will be for Red Hat, you have to the YAML can't solve dependency automatically, but for Debian can. So I suggest that you can actually just manually install the dependency. Yeah. Next, I will pass to Abdullah to present to you about the Mac compared to Linux OS.
Thank you, Henry. So I'm going to compare the Linux versus Mac, but before that, I'm going to explain the pro and the con of the Linux. So for the pro, the Linux, the OS is free, and the software are open source, and we have the license, and so you can install it easily. It is more secure as the hole are affected quickly. Linux it can run on any hardware. It can even run on the old PC. So I'm going to talk about the con of Linux. Linux is very more complicated than the Mac, as you have to do a lot of commands. You can't use Microsoft Office such as PowerPoint, Word, and other Excel and others. Now I'm going to compare about the pro of the Mac versus the con. Mac is very easy to use, and it is somewhat similar to what we can do in Windows. It has the boot camp which allows you to install Windows, Mac OS, and other kind of operating system. It works well with Apple software and hardware, so that they are less prone to error and damage and other software error. Apple has excellent customer support. Instead of failure in your hardware or software, you can contact those support and they can repair them. For the con, the price is more expensive. But the hardware is only can run only Apple hardware. So in the worst case scenario, it cannot run on other devices. Instead, the Apple hardware is not working anymore. My recommendation is Linux. Why is it so? Linux is free, but Mac is not free. Mac is you need to buy license in order to use those software. For the hardware, Linux can run on any hardware, but the OS can't run on all the hardware, but it only can run on Apple hardware. Linux, instead of the worst case scenario, if the new PC is not working, it can run on the old PC. But for the OS, there will be no choice. We have to buy another device to be supported by the Apple. So for the file system, there are very few different file managers on the Mac. While the Linux, there are many distinct file managers, and it can be interchangeable with the other file manager. So in the worst case scenario, when there is something wrong with the file manager in the Linux, you can interchange it, you can change it with another file manager, and you can attack the file and other parts. For the Mac OS, it will be very difficult for you, as they are quite, as the file manager are quite very different and very unique. So I'll be passing on to Henry, who is going to explain about solving the con of Linux. Henry, there you go.
Oh, okay. So for Linux, right, is that you can't use like Microsoft Office, right, which is the con for Linux as compared to the Apple Mac OS. So my suggestion is that you can actually use third-party Office tools such as the Google one which is actually free as compared to the Microsoft, right, you actually have to pay for it. It is much better And also, right, if you still insisting to use the Microsoft Office tool, right, you can actually use virtual machine, right, to run the Microsoft Office. So that's pass to Natalia.
Okay, so to summarize everything, so we have decided to use Red Hat partly because more people use it, and because more people use it, right, there will be more fixes for it, more people will be configuring it, playing with Red Hat. So there are more updates and fixes and the general consensus stuff as compared to Debian. Not to mention, add to the fact that Red Hat is more popular at the moment, since it's used by more users than Debian. And for the particular Linux, for particular Red Hat system, we decided to go with the Linux because it's Linux really. I can't really say much because Abdullah has already explained. So That is it for our case study. Thank you very much.